What is going on, everyone? My name is Jared Haas, and welcome back into another edition of NASCAR Mailbox. This weekend, we're going to take a look back at the action at Martinsville Speedway. And now this first question comes from Crazy Duck. They ask, what's the best way to make the Xfinity field handle Martinsville with more respect? Penalties? You didn't see that Xfinity Series race finish. I don't know. You may have been under a rock with Sammy Smith cleaning out Taylor Gray in the corner and the last lap carnage involved where Austin Hill was able to squeak by and get the win. My biggest thing is the penalty. He got docked 50 points and $25,000. Now, 50 points is not a big deal in this current system. It is about a full race points, but remember this, winning negates these consequences because Sammy Smith was going for the win, and that win gets you into the playoffs. And what matters is what happens in the playoffs and advancing, winning, and you get in. So Sammy Smith was taking the risk of, you know what, I'm going to clean him out, take the Austin Dillon route and say, put NASCAR in a box and say, is this legal or is this not? And, you know, if Sammy, I would wonder, the question is, if NASCAR would give the same penalty if Sammy Smith ended up winning that race instead of getting wrecked out. Because again, the issue is how these drivers race for the win because it's what NASCAR rewards. So I'd like to see some more respect in the Xfinity Series. I mean, I wouldn't mind more Cup drivers coming down. I know it'd be crazy to say that 15 years ago, but there needs to be that counterbalance of young, inexperienced drivers versus the veteran drivers trying to race against one another and to say, hey, this is what you should expect on Sundays. You know, the penalties, that having more stuff in the action, and if all else they can't handle racing there, they can't handle racing there. I mean, they proved it time and time again. It seems like every time they come off a turn four at a Martinsville race, it's literally a junkyard after the race, and that costs a lot of money. So, I mean, the respect issue is a broader issue overall, where this just starts with what determines a winner and how to get into the playoffs. Because again, that's what Sammy Smith's goal. You know, no matter that he wrecked Taylor Gray, as long as he locked in the playoffs, got those playoff points and stage points, that's what matters to him. And now this next question comes from La La Larson 514. They ask, what was the Penske situation with the batteries and stuff? I thought it was kind of funny, but it was really bad for Barry because his car seemed to have speed. Penske had some battery issues, that so much so that they ran out of batteries and Austin Cindric had to go behind the wall. And it's with Penske's innovation that they've been trying to do. I would blame that more on what's been happening lately with the past couple of weeks with these engine failures, on them to set themselves up to run well in the fall. Remember, Ryan Blaney has won the past two fall Martinsville races to get into the championship four. And to perform well in this race, you've got to experiment and know where this line is. And that's what the Penske cars were doing. And what you saw with the battery issue starts with the alternator. In order to make speed, you need to lower your center of gravity. And one of the ways to do that is to have to run a really light alternator. With that alternator, what that does is basically converts your mechanical energy that's outputted by the engine into the electrical energy, like recharging the battery, all that electrical stuff. So when you're running a really light alternator, those batteries aren't going to recharge as well, and that's where you're going to have those issues. So they were trying to make the alternator light to run well in the corner, have a lower center of gravity, so it turns better in the corner. Because of course, you got to have a very well handling car at Martinsville. And in turn, when you have an alternator running too light, you're not recharging the battery as much. You're not converting that energy into electrical energy, and it just keeps failing. And we saw that with multiple instances with Penske, so much so that they ran out in the end of the race. So that's why Penske had those issues in the Martinsville race, is because they were trying to experiment with the lighter alternator. And it seemed like they went a little too far, but I would not expect the same issues going into the fall race. Thank you very much for watching. As always, like and subscribe. That really helps get that content out to you guys. And until next time, as always, make sure to have a great race weekend.
Trenton Worsham with FrontRush.com. Come back for more great racing videos. And if you like us, don't forget to hit the subscribe button.